The US is set to sue Visa over allegations it monopolised the country's debit card market. That's according to a report by Bloomberg, which says court action could come as soon as Tuesday. The Department of Justice is reportedly preparing to accuse Visa of taking steps to prevent competitors challenging its dominance. There was no immediate comment on the report from the department or the company. Last year, the DOJ issued an investigative demand to Visa seeking information about its debit card operations. The probe was initiated back in 2021, at which time the firm said it complied with all relevant laws. Earlier this year, Discover Financial Services settled a suit in Texas, in which it accused Visa of obstructing competition in debit services and causing merchants to pay higher fees. Rival MasterCard has previously faced similar allegations regarding its US debit operations.
Phoenix, Arizona experienced 113 consecutive days of temperatures reaching 100 degrees Fahrenheit or higher this summer. That streak broke the previous record of 76 days set in 1993.
We had the hottest meteorological summer on record in Phoenix, and we broke the previous record, which was set last year in 2023, by almost 2 degrees.
That's National Weather Service meteorologist Matt Salerno.
So we had the hottest June on record, we had the second hottest July on record, and the third hottest August on record. It's very rare that we see, especially 2 summers in a row, 2 record-breaking summers like we just experienced.
The city made international headlines last year when temperatures surpassed 110 degrees Fahrenheit for 31 days straight. Director of the Arizona State Climate Office, Erin Ann Saffel, says in the early 1900s, the city had on average about 5 days a year reach those temperatures.
Now looking at the last 5 years, we're on an average of 40 days of 110 degrees or higher. So that becomes important to understand.
It's also highlighted the connection between prolonged heat and environmental challenges.
That heat impacts what happens with our drought. It impacts what happens with our wildfire. And so Arizona has had, compared to last year, which was really hot, we're at a 60% increase in the acreage that's being impacted by a wildland fire in Arizona at this time.
His catchphrase may be, "You can't see me, but you may soon hear" John Cena as a chatbot.
I officially am not cool. So that's exactly what I found out.
This is what Facebook owner Meta's AI bot might sound like as it plans to announce it has secured a deal with the WWE and movie star, a source told Reuters. Cena, as well as other celebrities like Judi Dench and Kristen Bell, will reportedly give voice to the bot.
Who wants to slow down? No, I want to be employed.
The source said the new audio feature will offer users the option to select a voice for Meta's ChatGPT-like digital assistant from a list of 5 celebrities. Others include actors Awkwafina and Keegan-Michael Key, as well as several generic voices. They added the social media giant is set to announce the audio capabilities at its annual Connect conference, which starts on Wednesday. The celebrity voices will start launching in the US and other English-speaking markets this week, the source said. And they will feature across Meta's family of apps, which include Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Meta has raced to push out generative AI products to its billions of users. It's competing against Microsoft-backed ChatGPT maker OpenAI and Alphabet's Google to dominate the emerging technology. The company has added capabilities to its chatbot and pushed to make it a more prominent part of the experience of using its apps. OpenAI showed off a similar audio feature for its chatbot in May. But it quickly ran into trouble when actor Scarlett Johansson accused the company of making it sound eerily similar to her, even though she had declined to lend her voice to the project.
In the world's struggle to bring down levels of planet-warming carbon emissions to Paris Agreement goals, countries periodically report on their plans and progress. These plans are called Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDCs. These reports help countries coordinate with one another and can tell us if the world is on track to meet its climate goals. Once updated every 5 years, countries have been asked to focus on setting more ambitious near-term emissions targets for 2030 and 2035.
The next round of NDC submissions is due by February 2025.
This is Jamal Srouji, a climate policy expert with the World Resources Institute.
Because so far we are not on track to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, these NDCs will be quite critical and will shed light on our ability to confront the climate crisis.
While some countries may detail new plans at the UN General Assembly, others may opt to sharing them during COP29 in Azerbaijan, the upcoming UN Climate Summit in November. An NDC is considered strong if it is detailed, ambitious, and credible. It should set emissions reductions targets for key polluting sectors, like energy and transportation, and also reconcile national policies that might frustrate progress, such as fossil fuel subsidies. There should also be plans for how a country will monitor progress. NDCs also need to ensure the transition to a greener world is fair to workers and communities. Pledges made within an NDC are considered voluntary, with countries facing no legal penalty if they fail to meet their own goals. Still, some countries like Britain and Chile have incorporated their NDCs into national law, while others have faced litigation.
A handwritten letter describing an assassination attempt was released on Monday by federal prosecutors.
Keep walking!
Who said the note was left behind by the man accused of hiding out with a gun near Donald Trump's Florida golf course in an apparent bid to kill the former president. Ryan Ruth appeared in court on Monday and is charged with 2 gun crimes after he allegedly pointed a rifle through the bushes while Trump was playing golf at his course in West Palm Beach. Prosecutors said the letter, which was addressed to the world, was dropped off several months before the incident and offered a bounty on Trump's life. It said, quote, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you." Adding, quote, "I will offer $150,000 to whomever can complete the job." The letter was found in a box handed over by an unidentified civilian witness that also included ammunition, a metal pipe, and 4 phones. U.S. officials said the 58-year-old did not fire a shot and did not have a line of sight to Trump, who was a few hundred yards away. A U.S. Secret Service agent spotted a weapon and fired in Ruth's direction, causing the suspect to flee. Ruth was later arrested along a Florida highway. The latest incident comes about 2 months after another gunman wounded Trump on the ear during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. That gunman was shot and killed by the Secret Service.
At a displacement camp in Nigeria's Maiduguri, flood survivors are being given bags of rice and cartons of pasta. But they say there's a catch. Isa Musa is a flood survivor who has been in the camp for over a week.
They're saying that when you receive the food parcels, you will have to leave, like you'll no longer live here in the camp. The government told us that if they give us food parcels, we will all go back to our houses.
For displaced people here, leaving the camp poses a daunting challenge. Some communities are still submerged after the capital of Borno State suffered its worst flooding in 3 decades. That was caused after a dam burst following heavy rains. In areas where flood waters have receded, homes, like Musa's, now lie in ruins.
This is my mother's room, which collapsed, while this belongs to my stepmother. This is the only room that did not collapse.
Borno State government, however, has denied that people have been told to leave displacement camps. At a recent press conference, Abdurrahman Ahmed Bundi, a special assistant to the Borno State government on new media, said people were free to return voluntarily.
But anybody whose community is not yet safe or has nowhere to return can live in the IDP camp until an intervention is provided to him and is habitable to return back.
Bundy did say, however, that the phased closure of the camps would begin soon to allow academic activities to return to normal. All schools have been shut since September the 10th. As for Musa, he is now awaiting the government's assessment of the damage to his home. That will determine the level of aid he receives. While the floods may have receded for Musa and other survivors, rebuilding their lives and livelihoods may take much longer.